Well, hey, everybody, let me say from the beginning how excited I am that you have jumped into a message-based group. If it's your first time and you're a little nervous or you're not sure what to expect, I hope you will take a deep breath, relax, jump into the conversation, and just see what God might want to do in your life and in these relationships in the next few weeks. Now, before we jump into week one discussion, I want to make sure you're aware that this Sunday, February the 13th, which is Super Bowl Sunday, following our morning services on site at Christ Church, we're going to have a few food trucks available, some inflatables for the kids. You can wear your favorite jersey, even though your team is probably not playing in the game. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, if I'm going to wear a jersey or not, but it'll be a great chance for you to hang out together, and maybe you can even use the opportunity to invite some more people to join your group. Also, if you are not using the Christ Church app, you may want to go ahead and download that. Just search for Church Center and then find Christ Church Camden. You can do a lot of things in the app, but as it relates to your group, you can see the schedule of events. You could send messages to your group, and you can find resources there like the weekly discussion guides. Okay, here we go. Battle ready. For the next 10 weeks, we're going to camp out in one section of Scripture found in the book of Ephesians, chapter 6. Now, this series is all about how we prepare for and engage in spiritual battle. Now, let me say from the beginning, none of this is intended to scare us, but rather to make us aware that there's a spiritual battle taking place, and much of it is played out here on earth. So if we're going to be part of it, we need to know how to be prepared to fight and what kind of weapons and armor are available for our use. Because to fight a spiritual battle, we need spiritual weapons. Now, in a minute, as a group, you're going to read the entire passage together, Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 through 20. And I want to remind you or make you aware of the context in which these words are written. Now, this is part of a letter written by a follower of Jesus named Paul. Now, he spent several years with a group of Christians in the city of Ephesus. He helped to establish a small church there. Now, you may later choose to go back and read about some of this. I would encourage you to do that. It's provided in the notes, Acts chapter 19, and you'll see that the people in that city were very interested in spiritual things. In fact, their entire economy, for the most part, was based on the spirit world and magic and sorcery. Industries were built around the production of shrines and idols. So these people did not need to be convinced of the presence of evil or the reality of a spiritual world. Now, when Paul ends up in a Roman prison later for preaching about Jesus, he writes this letter to these Christians in Ephesus. Now, it makes sense to me, and most people agree, that Paul draws some of his imagery about the armor of God from the fact that he would be on 24/7 surveillance by a Roman soldier dressed in full head-to-toe armor. So when he comes to the end of his letter in chapter 6, he doesn't need to spend a lot of time building a case for a spiritual battle. He just jumps right in. Put on the full armor of God so that you can stand against the schemes of the devil. Now, as you read this passage together and begin your discussion, it's absolutely crucial to everything that follows that we understand at the very beginning what happened to cause this battle, what is happening right now that involves me, and what do I need to do to make sure that I'm battle ready. Once again, I'm so excited you took a step into this group and decided to do this study. I'm convinced that if you engage with it and ask God to open your heart and your mind, help you be prepared so that you can stand strong, I'm convinced you'll see some amazing victories in your life over the next few weeks.